Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered, how did it all begin? Before oceans, trees, or creatures, before the air we breathe, there was only dust and fire. And from that chaos, Earth was born. Today, we're traveling over 4.5 billion years into the past, a time when Earth wasn't even Earth yet. We'll witness cosmic collisions, hellish landscapes, and finally, the miracle of life. This isn't just a story of science, it's the first chapter of our own existence. Let's begin. Our story starts around 4.6 billion years ago. The universe had already existed for over 9 billion years when a giant molecular cloud, cold, dark, and massive, began to collapse under its own gravity. In the chaos, a star was born, our sun, and surrounding it, a swirling disk of dust and gas, what scientists call a protoplanetary disk. Within this spinning chaos, small grains collided and stuck together, forming larger and larger clumps. These clumps became planetesimals, the building blocks of planets. Gravity pulled them together through relentless collisions, fusing rocky cores and melting metals. One small, rocky mass, about 93 million miles from the sun, was destined to become something special: Earth. At this point, Earth was just a molten sphere, raging hot from radioactive decay and the heat of impacts. It spun rapidly, its young surface glowing orange with heat, its sky filled with choking gas and ash. Between 4.5 and 4 billion years ago, Earth was a world of fire. Scientists call this the Hadean Eon. The surface boiled with lava seas. Volcanoes erupted constantly. The crust barely existed and was constantly reshaped by impacts from space. But one collision changed everything. A Mars-sized body named Theia slammed into the Earth at a glancing angle. The impact was apocalyptic. Molten rock and vaporized crust were blasted into orbit. That debris coalesced to form our moon. Over time, gravitational forces shaped the moon's orbit, and the Earth's rotation slowed, forming our 24-hour day. As Earth cooled, water vapor began to condense. Volcanic eruptions released massive amounts of steam and carbon dioxide. Meanwhile, icy comets and asteroids bombarded Earth, adding more water. Eventually, it started to rain, and it didn't stop for thousands of years. The water carved basins into the crust, forming oceans. Earth's surface cooled enough to form the first solid crust. The planet's interior remained molten, but on the surface, the first oceans shimmered under a toxic sky. Water is essential for life, but water alone is not life. It needs chemistry, specifically carbon-based chemistry. Early Earth was a chemical playground. Lightning storms crackled through the atmosphere, energizing simple molecules into more complex ones. At the same time, hydrothermal vents on the seafloor pumped out mineral-rich fluids. Here, in these underwater cauldrons, amino acids may have formed. Organic molecules now existed, but they weren't alive yet. Sometime between 4 and 3.5 billion years ago, Earth crossed the greatest threshold of all. Life began. How exactly it happened remains one of science's greatest mysteries. But one idea is that lipid molecules formed spheres, membranes that trapped amino acids and nucleotides inside. These protocells weren't alive, but they could grow, divide, and perhaps even evolve. Eventually, one of them stumbled upon self-replication. That moment, though invisible, was monumental. Life had begun. Life on early Earth faced brutal challenges. The sun was younger and more violent. There was no protective ozone layer. UV radiation blasted the surface. Meteorites continued to fall, and Earth itself was unstable. But life found refuge in the oceans, in the shadows, in the deep. Around hydrothermal vents, life thrived on chemosynthesis, using chemical energy, not sunlight, to survive. Then came a game-changing innovation: photosynthesis. Cyanobacteria learned to harness sunlight and release oxygen as a byproduct. Oxygen slowly began accumulating in the atmosphere. In a few 100 million years, it would change everything. This has been the story of how our planet transformed from dust to life. But this is only the beginning. Up next, we'll explore how life evolved, adapted, and conquered Earth, from single-celled organisms to the first animals. Like, subscribe, stay curious, because the next chapter in Earth's story is even more incredible.